Looks like Intergalactic has an artist who openly, I don't know, mock Charlie Kirk's death with a sick joke. If you guys want to know if Naughty Dog will address this, but don't get your hopes on because Naughty Dog will not. Neil Druckmann will never acknowledge it. I don't know what Neil Druckmann said when he was interviewing with Alex Garland. Who gives a shit? He doesn't care about the fans.
Just give me a chance. Just give me a chance!
I'm wasting my time, aren't I?
Yeah.
Now we all seen all this, so we'll just skip a bit. Although I like to add this one. Kinda like this one.
Alright me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, then what are you waiting for? We have gotten a ton of new subscribers lately, so it is time to ask the following question.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
Yo!
Okay, I think that's all I need to hear.
But let's take a look at what was sent to me showing these Naughty Dog employees making asses of themselves on social media. This first guy here that I want to look at is Rob Sheridan. To be clear, this guy appears to be an artist that Naughty Dog uses from time to time, not an ongoing employee, but he did create the title sequence in the trailer.
Sorry about the sound quality. It happens from time to time. I have no idea what is happening. Apologies, okay? Again, if you wish to know if Naughty Dog will address this, no, they won't, because it's Neil Druckmann. And don't forget, Neil Druckmann and Tati Gabrielle all hate the fans that they label as critics, and Neil Druckmann's not gonna do anything about it. Tati Gabrielle said, let the haters hate, they'll buy the game anyway. I don't think Tati Gabrielle noticed that backlogs are a thing, and also, this game, if I recall correctly, it's released on the PS5 only. Again, so sorry folks, apologies, that's a bit of an interruption.
And he apparently put together some other analog art in that original trailer. Here is one of his posts on Instagram where he shows off some of his work, but let's go over some of the crap that this guy posted over on Blue Sky, that shitlib cesspool where people say unhinged, leftist garbage. But here he reposted someone making a joke about Charlie Kirk's death. You may remember that just before Charlie was killed, there was a story that some real-life so-called witches tried to put a curse on him like the childish, unhinged idiots that they are. Anyhow, this Rob Sheridan guy reposted someone saying, what an effing way to find out that magic is real.
Oh boy, Naughty Dog's not gonna do it. They won't do it. And if this game released on the PS5 only, and if it fails, well, the PC port has to be speed up. Don't forget, Ghost of Yotei is releasing on the PS5 exclusively, but sadly, all pre-orders have been cancelled. Mass canceling. Sooner or later, the Ghost of Yotei have to speed up their PC port, but even with the PC port, it's not gonna help Ghost of Yotei either. Same goes for this one.
Guys, but I don't find that very funny. And here he is reposting himself. He originally said this several months ago, but he reposted it right after Charlie's death, essentially calling Charlie a coward and saying, I'm proud of my consistent record on Charlie Kirk with years of receipts showing that I have never flip-flopped on the issue of Charlie wearing huge, heavy-loaded, sogging diapers at all times on the brink of bursting open from the incomprehensible volume of piss they're struggling to contain. Once again, these people will say, oh, this was just a joke, but I don't find it funny, and I don't support the work being done by people who would clearly laugh if they found out that I was dead. But anyhow, here this same guy reposted someone trying to claim that the side who radicalized someone into killing Charlie Kirk and whose people mocked him after death, they claim that they have the empathy because they wear clown shoes and they don't live in real life. And then here's the image of something else he reposted from a guy who was calling Charlie Kirk a white supremacist, quoting someone who falsely claims that Charlie said that gay people should be killed. And then here is Rob saying, is there a list of known fascist collaborators, shaming website that lists all the companies and organizations who cave to right-wing pressure campaigns and fire people for exercising free speech. They need to hear a lot of noise from the thousands who won't be their customers anymore. Infuriating that so many companies will condemn celebrating political violence, harmless jokes, by directly rewarding the tactics of actual political violence, death threats to get someone fired for a joke, and a bigger deal isn't made about how wrong that is.
Good time for the ads. Now again, just a little reminder, don't forget, Naughty Dog was the one that false copyright strike Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers and Ryan Kinnell. I'm 100% certain Intergalactic, if there's any leaks, there's gonna be false copyright strike to no end. And that's what Naughty Dog's gonna do, and frankly, they can't use Twitter because Twitter is now bought by Elon Musk, and it's gonna backfire on them tremendously. Neil Druckmann will just dismiss all of it, 100%. He's gonna dismiss it. Same goes for Tati Gabrielle. They're gonna dismiss it. They won't acknowledge it because they say, who cares about the haters? Who gives a shit? Exactly that.
And if you don't speak jackass D-bag, well, I took a couple of years of it in college, so allow me to translate for you. This guy thinks that it's okay to make lists of his enemies and to shame organizations into doing what he and his political side wants. That is what happened for years, after all, when the cultural left had a monopoly on all social media. But he thinks that's fine, and that anything that his side says or does is fine, even though there is evidence that their rhetoric helped radicalize someone into killing a young husband and father, assassinating him in front of his kids. But this guy thinks that anything they say is a harmless joke. He writes it off as such. Meanwhile, anything said by someone he disagrees with should be considered actual political violence. You know, speech is violence. They say that shit all the time. The shocking lack of self-awareness from this idiot is actually not all that shocking when you consider that these people simply define themselves as the good guys and everyone else as bad, and that justifies everything that they say or do. But anyhow, let's look at another Naughty Dog worker. This here is Emilia Schatz, a principal game designer at Naughty Dog, and after Charlie Kirk was killed, she reposted this. Charlie spent his life's work and all of his energy and time targeting outgroups while arguing for a world in which gun massacres would be easy to enact, plentiful, and inevitable, and he became famous and wealthy doing it, and we're now not supposed to mention that because it isn't polite. These people are as minimally charitable as possible to anyone who disagrees with their cult.
Well, again, don't forget, there's still PlayStation fanboys and shills. They're gonna support Intergalactic either way. Again, what we're trying to do is convince the everyday, average, normal people. Don't forget, the average, everyday, normal people, all they want is just escapism, okay? They don't want to see politics. They don't want to see any of it. We convince them, then it's a win. And don't forget, the modern audience, there is no such thing as the modern audience. The question is, what will it take for Neil Druckmann and Tati Gabrielle, but mostly Neil Druckmann, to face the harsh reality? No, generally, what will it take?
It's amazing how they attribute so many negative traits to Charlie simply because he was an effective debater who often made them look foolish. But anyways, here is this same person days after Charlie Kirk died, reposting someone who called him a monster. So yeah, once again, I refuse to support work being done by anyone who clearly despises me. Charlie Kirk was the moderate, and if you think he's a monster, and if you all celebrate his death, then you would celebrate mine. So why would I even consider giving you my money? Anyhow, a big shout out to the person who emailed me this information. Nice work finding all this out. And if Naughty Dog does release a trailer for this game at the State of Play today, I recommend that you drop in on that trailer and let them know what you think of that dog shit studio. And even if they don't drop a trailer today, then message the Naughty Dog X account and drop them a line there. Be polite and respectful, don't threaten them or anything like that, but let them know that you aren't going to buy anything that was worked on by these sorts of people.
Right, first and foremost, that was a good video. Look, for starters, Neil Druckmann's not going to do anything about it. It's apparent with The Last of Us. He's going to dismiss it, and he will say, he's probably silent by this time. Be mindful of the haters. We're just going to continue to do what we do best. Okay, look, it's going to be similar with Dragon Age Veilguard and Assassin's Creed Shadows. Yes, there will be at least, 20 to 50k players, or in this case, copies, whatever it is. What am I saying? This is PlayStation. And they didn't say anything about the PC port, but we all know Naughty Dog, they took 5 years or 4 years? I mean, yes, you have Nixxes, but how long did it take for Nixxes to port every game, which including The Last of Us, to PC. And I'm 100% certain that, the Wolverine, Marvel's Wolverine, is also being ported to PC. We just don't know when. For the hardcore shills and hardcore fans, they're gonna buy this game, Intergalactic, either way because it's brand loyalty. Naughty Dog and PlayStation fanboys. Yeah, and PlayStation fanboys, they're gonna buy it either way. So, what we do is simple. Convince the average, everyday, normal people. That's it. Because if the average, everyday, normal people sees this and they say, wait, this is not escapism, they will listen. That's the one thing. And if you read the title, it is 700% cooked. Let's bump it up.
This is...
It's a place to honor the dead. They're still waiting for the salvation Mother Sphere promised them.
Damn.
I want to send the memories left here to Mother Sphere. That's where they belong.
I'll help.
Me too.
Thank you, both of you.